Hey, this is Matthew with Noob Aquatics. What we're doing here today is we're adding some additional substrate to our tanks. Now, one thing that I do know is that a lot of people ask the question, can I add some more substrate? I don't feel like I got enough. But wait, I've already filled up my tank, so what do I got to do? The problem is a lot of people will tell you got to drain your tank, remove your fish, all of that. So I'm going to show you a way that you can add things like sand or small substrates. Now, it doesn't work with everything, but it does work with some. In there that you make sure that you rinse it thoroughly, so it can't work with things that can't be rinsed. If you put something in there that can't be rinsed and you use this method, it may cloud your water like crazy. Now, I've already added several, pounds of sand already, probably about 30 pounds of sand, while this tank is still full. So I have not drained it at all. I have not removed any of the fish. Now, one of the cool things you can see here is that even though I've done this, it's not that cloudy. So I'm going to show you now what you can do to add substrate to an already filled tank. This you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's, it doesn't matter. This is a 2-inch PVC pipe, really thick. It's a 2-foot cutting, and then it's a 4-inch attachment here, almost like a funnel, as you see, funnel, all right, to 2-inch. So 4-inch to 2-inch coupling. So let me show you how to use this to add substrate to an already filled tank. Make sure you have a lot of towels too. I'm going to tell you that, otherwise your wife may get mad. But not only towels, have a carpet shampooer. And this is also a good thing to have. So if you put in new substrate in there, you want to make sure it's even and you don't want to use your hands. Or you have cars that are breeding and they have eggs, they bite the living daylights out of you every time you move the sand. This may help. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I used my hands and they attacked it and tore some skin off. So it doesn't feel really good, but it doesn't hurt either. So 2 cups. I'll explain the 2 cups in just a minute. One cup to grab the substrate. This is an inert sand. It is black diamond blasting sand. Seen many great reviews, people using it for years and years without affecting any of your chemistry within the tank, and I can confirm that after several months of using it, it has not adjusted my pH or any levels in the tank. Now, just to make certain that it doesn't, I always add Fritz Complete just in case. So you guys literally just take this and pour the sand in. Get a big hump of it up there. One thing I did learn though, makes it easier. You're going to take tank water, cover it with your hand, pour it right in the edge. As you dump, as the sand falls down, it goes everywhere. Trust me, it's went all over the wall when I poured a little bit too much and didn't have my hand there. So the person holding the camera is laughing at me because she can contest that, yes, I poured sand all over the wall. Everybody makes mistakes. This is the first time I've ever done this, so I've never seen it done by anybody, and it's the first time I've ever done it, so it's a new technique that I have found that works great as long as you use a sand that is able to be rinsed. So, and there I go again using the same cup. You probably noticed that, didn't you? So if you watch right here, you'll see the water, it doesn't cloud the water and it adds the sand right where you want it. I'm trying to cover up all that coral down there. The coral was originally in the back of my hang on the back filter, but it wasn't really doing anything at all. I don't know why people have such great, you know, how do you say it, not really progress, but great results with coral, but not me for some reason. So tried limestone. It helped balance out the, you know, KH a little bit. Still didn't help. So now to balance my KH and keep it where it is, even though this is not a, you know, African cichlid tank, I use Rift Lake cichlid buffer, and I'll explain in another video exactly why, but this raises your KH and your pH and it keeps it stable. I just add this to the water every time I do a water change, and we've had it for several months and it's still half full. So, and we use it on 10 tanks, so lots of tanks, and it's cheap, much cheaper than all the other things you can find on the planet. But all that is basically, it's just a combination of carbonate salts. So, but it's made specifically for the aquariums, and it works great. Doesn't matter the fish. I even use it in our guppy tanks. I'll show you a few more here, and then one thing I found is that if you want, you can just still use 1 cup. Make sure you have water in your substrate. So if you take a look down there, you'll see my substrate is already filled with water. And whenever that happens, all right, the water that's in there, dechlorinated water, you can just take your hand, pour a little bit here, get it to go. All right. That is if you don't want to waste multiple cups, but I reuse these cups, so I reuse all of them until they become useless. So they're not just a one-time use cup for me. They're a 50, 200 time use cup. I like 2 cups though. See, some of it came out. My bad. Just kind of jumped out of there. Poof. Okay. So, plus I wanted a lot more substrate in this tank. The Acaras love to dig, and they just didn't have enough substrate in there to dig and build holes. So I'm adding more substrate. So that was the main reason why I came up with this idea. I'm basically pampering my Acaras is what I'm doing. Just like I pamper my wife. And she's laughing at me. Yep, they must have dragged a leaf over there. So
another option is if you don't have a lot of money to spend on substrate right away, then you can always use this technique to add some more later.
Yep, so if you want to get like 2 inches of substrate now, just like my wife says, and later you want to add more. But yeah, it's definitely, like my wife said, definitely a way to add more substrate later, if you don't have the money to add it right away. And this you know, this black sand here, this black diamond blasting sand is great. I think I paid $11 for 50 pounds, which you can't get that anywhere. I do tell you though, is definitely clean it off before you put it in there, because it can be pretty dirty. This bag wasn't so dirty, but it can be really, really dirty when you get it. I use it in most of our tanks that have substrate. So it's in my wife's tank and it's in my kids' tanks. Alright, so that's how you add substrate to an already established tank without clouding the water, assuming that you did rinse it off and it's got clear water coming out of it. Now that's not just spraying water in there and just hoping that it comes out clear. I mean, you got to spray water in there, stick your hand in there and rough it up a little bit, you know, like it, you know, like you're smacking it in the water. You're mad at it, you know. Make sure that stuff is ruffled up and you're getting all that dust and everything out of there. That way you're not putting in all that dust into your tank and it takes 10 years to clean up. So, but yeah, that's how you do it. Again, thanks for coming to Noob Aquatics here. My name is Matthew, and that's how you add substrate to an established tank.